imagine there was no gay media. There were no gay shops, of course. There were no gay role models. You didn't know what other people were doing except what you could read in the ordinary press. And the only mentions normally of, we didn't have the word gay either, of homosexuals was when somebody was convicted in court or arrested. And that was invariably described as sordid, in the shadows, dirty men wearing dirty raincoats, doing things with boys, mixing it with paedophilia, that sort of reference. So it was all negative and there wasn't that much of it. I was very lucky that I happened to see an article in the New Statesman, and it was about life in the West End, and it mentioned, amongst other things, sort of pubs that nowadays we would describe as bohemian, or used to call bohemian. And it mentioned homosexuals would be there along with artists and musicians and maybe drugs and so on. So, and the one they mentioned, I tracked down. It was the Fitzroy Tavern in Charlotte Street.
Gosh.
Which still exists.
Yes, absolutely.
But it doesn't have a gay reputation anymore. I stood opposite, watching people go in, and I was dead scared. So I crossed the road and went in. But I was so trembling that I walked slowly in one door, and I walked through the pub very slowly, looking at people both sides, what sort of people, what they were doing. I wasn't used to a pub either, because I'd been told as a child that pubs were wicked places, and I shouldn't never ever go in a pub. So it was a double problem. And none of our family ever went to a pub. So I then walked out the other door, the other side. But the next day I was back and I stayed and I bought a drink.